East Palestine, Ohio has become the home of the forgotten men and women of this country. A community that was pretty much just nuked with 500 tons of chemicals is being forced to live in the middle of a potentially cancer-clustering mushroom cloud. These people were just living normal lives. They didn't want it. They didn't even cause it. This happened because of a rail company who put themselves above a small company in Ohio. When they lit their train on fire after letting it fly off the rails with 500 tons of hazardous chemicals inside of it, and then just told these people to deal with it. So Primetime sent Summer, our producer, out to see how they're dealing with it.
How has this chemical contamination impacted your life?
It's been absolutely terrible. It's uprooted me and my 6 children.
It's making me move out of my house. People don't know we're safe to drink the water. They're saying yes, but then we got fish kills everywhere.
I worry because I have a well, so I worry in 6 months, what could happen to my water.
What have you noticed about the environment since this has happened?
It's dirty. There's a lot of dust flying around.
That creek is dead. There's not a fish in there. There's not a newt. There's not a salamander. There's no frogs, dead snakes.
I don't know where the birds all went, but we don't see any birds in our place.
Do you feel safe?
No, I don't.
No, I don't feel safe. I think I would be a fool to say that I felt safe right now.
My throat's been burning. I've had a horrible cough, sneezing, just congestion. My eyes have burned. It's scary,
I vomit within 10 minutes of being in that home.
What about the ladies that's going to have babies? Is the babies going to be infected? Are they going to come out deformed?
I went through there Sunday and I thought I was going to die. And I'm curious of what I sucked in. Is it going to kill me? I'm scared. I am. I'm freaking scared.
What is your message to the people in charge?
Oh my God. Please bring us help. Please, don't, my biggest fear is that this will be a forgotten town.
We're a small community, yeah, we're country people, but we care. We all care. This is home. This has been home for people for years. And we want answers.
So what's happening here isn't normal, and you'd think there'd be people rushing to help them. But instead, the mayor of the town is being forced to beg.
I need help. I'm not ready for this. I wasn't built for this. I have the village on my back, and I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. This is my town. I'm not going to sell my house. I'm not going to move my kids out of the school. I'm here to stay, and they're going to make it right, and that's it. They screwed up our town. They're going to fix it. If they don't, I'll be the first one calling all you back to do this all over again.
Good for him. These people got screwed over. And now the rail company responsible for all this, Norfolk Southern, is hiding from them like cowards. Last night, they were a no-show at the local town hall. They skipped out on the only chance these people had at getting some real answers. Why? Well, Norfolk Southern says they were scared.
Norfolk Southern was a no-show. What is the message to the community on that? What's your reaction?
Well, I'm hoping this isn't what it's going to be like in the future. I hope Alan Shaw has made a commitment to me that he's going to stay in our community, and I'm going to hold him to it. If he doesn't, then I'm going to have to use the bully pulpit and get results.
What was the last communication with them when they said
I just talked to him this afternoon.
And he just said we're not showing up?
He said that they didn't feel safe coming here, and that's what they felt.
So how about the people of East Palestine? Aren't they scared? Do they feel safe? Isn't it scary to wake up one morning and see your kids getting rashes? You don't think these people are wondering why they keep getting hit with migraines? So the slimy rail company and their CEO, Alan Shaw, are just worried about themselves. They're not worried about giving answers to a town they just nuked. They never even cared about the little guy in the first place. Just 2 days before the crash, the same derailed train broke down. Did that keep Shaw from sending his train out with barrels of chemicals, knowing the train was also going to be riding on rickety brakes? No. Shaw gave the green light for the train to keep riding on. Now, after he set fire to 500 tons of spilled chemicals, he won't answer any hard questions. The only time Norfolk Southern shows their faces in the town is to goose residents into signing legal waivers. They waved a paycheck for $1,000 in their face, told them, "You're welcome. Oh, and by the way, you're on your own now." And $1,000 is chump change. We give illegal aliens $1,000 a day in New York. And believe it or not, Norfolk Southern did the same thing back in 2005 when another one of their trains crashed and spilled chemicals all over a small town in South Carolina. Norfolk Southern showed up with the same waivers, and unfortunately, some of the residents were fooled into signing them. And years later, when they got sick, Norfolk Southern wouldn't take their calls. These guys have a history of screwing over the little guy. They get away with it because they line the pockets of every politician in Washington. Now, the CEO, Alan Shaw, hangs out with Mayor Pete. Look at him. No wonder Pete's not getting anywhere near Palestine. No wonder Pete's downplaying this train wreck.
Look, rail safety is something that has evolved a lot over the years, but there's clearly more that needs to be done because while this horrible situation has gotten a particularly high amount of attention, there are roughly 1,000 cases a year of a train derailing.
Guys, trains fly off the rails all the time. I'm just the Secretary of Transportation. What do you want me to do about it? So Pete's doing PR for Norfolk Southern and his rail tycoon buddy, Alan Shaw. But the residents of East Palestine are too smart to buy into what they're saying.
How has Norfolk Southern handled their disaster?
I think absolutely terrible. I was told to evacuate my home. They told me they were going to do an air quality test. Never got a call back. 3 times, 3 different agents from that number said they were coming to do an air quality test.
I don't think Norfolk is owning up to what happened.
Probably about 10 minutes after the evacuation was lifted, the first train went through. And so it was just kind of a slap in the face. We felt that all they were worried about is getting the trains running.
I think they handled it really piss poor, really. I mean, I feel like they're just trying to hush people now with all that $1,000 inconvenience.
They better start getting the tablet out because they're going to be responsible for a lot. I hope that they are held to be responsible for a tremendous amount. We don't know what's going to be down the road.
And so these people are fed up, as they should be. Not showing up is bad, but showing up just to lie to these people's faces is even worse. And that's exactly what the Ohio EPA did last night. And they showed up to the town hall just to lie to everybody. Luckily, Primetime caught them in the act.
Would you drink the water here?
Yes.
You would? Why?
I'm drinking it right now because it's been tested, and we have all the results back today. We've tested it for all the potential contaminants.
You guys personally did testing?
We worked with the contractor, but the county health department personally did testing as well.
Then why are the fish dying in the creeks?
We're talking about the drinking water. The drinking water is groundwater from a system about a mile away.
So you're not concerned about the creek water possibly leaking into the groundwater? There's no cross-contamination
We are
issue?
evaluating all. We're getting more data on the streams. We are testing.
If like a child were to go and play in the creek, do you think that that would be a harmful issue for them?
Until we have more information about what is in the streams, I wouldn't recommend people play in the creek.
So the water is safe to drink, but it's not safe to swim in. How safe is this water anyway?
Let me just show this to people. I don't know if you're going to see this on camera, but watch this. Just see that chemical pop out of the creek. This is disgusting.
So that's not leaking into the soil? That's not getting into well water? The EPA isn't even testing. The EPA hasn't done a single test. The EPA is letting Norfolk Southern hire an in-house contractor, Ringer, to do all their testing. The same company who said the Gulf of Mexico was totally clean after BP dumped oil into it. Same company said the water was fine after Katrina triggered an oil spill in 2005. Same company said when a city in Tennessee was covered in toxic coal ash in 2008, go outside and inhale the fresh air. And now they're telling the people of East Palestine to drink the water. You'll like it, especially if you like the taste of vinyl chloride. How is anyone in this town supposed to trust these people when they keep being lied to, when people don't show up to take their questions, when the President of the United States tells a small town engulfed in a chemical smoke that they don't qualify for FEMA aid? That's what Biden said. East Palestine is being treated like they don't matter. So when is that going to stop?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.